Welcome back to the Lazy A-Hole Recliner Show, everyone. My name is Allie, and this is the side channel for the Lazy A-Hole Ranch. We are building an arched cabin in Colorado. But today we are here to talk about the garden. Since fall is coming in quick and hard, it's time to take a few moments to appreciate the garden of 2021. So let's sit back and enjoy the view, and then we'll talk about a few things.
These have been in a while, and as you can tell, they are more than ready to harvest. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull these. The bees are still enjoying them though, so. This one is definitely ready. Look at that, guys. That is a great turnip. That one's still smallish. Still small. I'm only pulling out the big ones. Wow, that one's ready. We got a couple more weeks left in you. So I'm not gonna pull all of them, just a couple. Alright, so I have 3 decent sized turnips. The rest we're gonna leave them to get a little bit bigger. Gosh, let's see if there's anything else that's ready. I know there was at least one radish. This guy was ready. What a cutie. This guy looks to be about ready. Here's my little bitty harvester today, some radishes and turnips. My garden is growing like crazy. I love this flower. Okay, it is time to harvest the first of my potatoes. So the awesome things about these grow bags is you just dump it out on the ground and pull your potatoes out, basically. I think I'm gonna pick a spot where I can easily come back next year and pick up this dirt and reuse it in another bed. All right, here goes nothing. See if we got any potatoes in here. Haha. Okay. Oh man, they're all teeny tiny. Man, is that all I got? Well, it might have a lot of seed potatoes. Got a couple decent size. They're all kind of small. I know where a bunch of this soil is going. right now. I'll just put it right in here. This first bag didn't yield a whole lot, guys. Well, that's kind of disappointing. They're all pretty small. I'll have to figure out what I did wrong. Maybe more fertilizer or something. Alright, so I processed 3 bags of potatoes and this is my haul. It's not huge and they're all pretty small. This is probably the biggest one in there. I probably need to fertilize more is my guess, but I'm learning. I have also harvested some turnip seed and some carrot seed here for next year, and some sunflower petals, of course.
And indeed, fertilizer was definitely the learning lesson for this year. I was fertilizing maybe once a month, and I realized I really need to be fertilizing like every 2 weeks or so. If you think it needs to be a little more often than that, leave a comment below and let me know, because this is only my 2nd year with a garden and I'm still figuring things out. But all in all, it was a great year. It went above and beyond anything I could have imagined for myself. I'm just so delighted that everything grew. We had all sorts of amazing pollinators in the garden this year. What you're seeing here is a sphinx moth. We also had an unbelievable amount of bees, and hummingbirds were fighting over the territory. I planted a whole bunch of flowers in my vegetable garden, and I think I'm going to continue to do so because I wanted to bring in more pollinators and basically create a little ecosystem there. Everything is beneficial. I know we don't always like some of the insects that we see, but I feel like they all have their purpose. So I'm looking into various gardening methods that kind of align with that philosophy, that everything has a place in this world. It is the end of gardening season here in Colorado. I'm preparing some things for harvest and also preparing some of the beds for fall and winter. Some of the things I'm going to do today, I'm going to cut back all the tomato plants. They have to sit for a couple of weeks before I can harvest them. That way the skins have a time to harden a little bit. I'm leaving my radish here that is going to seed because the seed pods aren't quite ready yet. I'm looking for stuff that's ready to go. I have some beds that I'm already mixing some plant material and stuff in to compost in the beds over the winter. I'm trying to leave as many flowers out as I can because there are still pollinators about. So I try not to pick anything until it's really done for. But this half of the garden is kind of done. A few of my beds are still going strong, such as my petunias, some of my sunflowers. My herb garden is a happy little place right now. I also have some zinnias back there that are doing amazing. The onions are really hitting their stride right now. I've harvested a few and I've thinned out the bunching onions. I might try to grow some as perennials next year. But I'm really pleased with what the garden has given me this year. I'm very grateful. The end of the season has been a little tough for me. I start to get a little melancholy after the solstice as the sun starts to fade away, and watching the plants die back brings it back even more. But I did better this year than last year, and I think next year will be even better. I start to get excited about what I'm going to do next year and how I'm going to make it the best year ever for the garden. So, a little melancholy, but I'm also really looking forward to what next year has to bring. Next, I'm just going to chop all the vegetation from the potato plants. They'll need to sit for just a little while longer before I harvest them. I still have 13 more things of potatoes to harvest. So, I was comparing all of these pots this year to see which ones I liked best for growing potatoes, and honestly, I'm happy with all of them. All of these were super easy to use and deal with. The cloth ones are definitely lighter weight. Plastic bag kind of recycled ones, those were good as long as you had enough material in them. Otherwise they kind of folded in on themselves a lot. But I really do like them for ease of harvesting potatoes. You just kind of dump the bag out.
I was dumping one bag into another bag after I did the first one so I could save the dirt. So I'm doing this because if I do this and let them sit for a couple weeks, it'll help the skins harden. These potatoes will be ready for long storage use. There is still so much life left in the garden though, and it's still such a happy place for me. I mean, look at all these beautiful flowers still going, in spite of the frost. Flowers are still teeming with life, so I'm not cutting anything down until it's on its way out.
My total potato harvest ended up being 27 pounds this year. Not bad for a first timer, but like I said before, I know I need to fertilize more often next year, and I think next year will be a lot better. I learned a lot.
So I'm harvesting potatoes right now, and I've got one of these bags with the flap on it. And honestly, I don't necessarily see the convenience of the flap here. I dumped a whole bunch out of the top, but I'm just not seeing it. For me personally, it's easier just to kind of start slowly dumping it into another bucket. Just kind of keep an eye on it and pick them out as I go. And that to me is working a lot better. They're not very big, but they're mine. We've got weather coming in, so I'm not filming a whole lot of this. Just kind of giving you a general update. The bags are definitely easier to work with versus other containers, although this one is now spilling crap all over me since I undid that flap. Yeah, they're little. Throughout this process, I was testing different containers and just seeing how they do with the potatoes to see which ones I like best. I definitely like the bags best. For ease of use, the cloth containers have been the best for me. They're just easier to manage. And when all is said and done, all of these beds will be prepped and ready for winter, for next year. Gardening has taught me a lot about letting go and grief, and also the joys of patience and the wonderful things that come from growth. Thank you all for watching. I love each and every one of you. Have a great rest of your day. Love you. Bye.